Hi, Vencore weather meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, September 17th. A cool morning here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Our cool, dry weather pattern looks like it'll continue right through the rest of the work week. By the weekend, strong high pressure will push off the New England coastline. That will allow for the development of a low-level flow of air out of the southwest. We'll have increasingly warm conditions over the weekend here in the Mid-Atlantic region, so that by Sunday afternoon, all areas up and down the I-95 corridor should be at 80-plus degrees. That late weekend warm-up, however, will be short-lived, as another cool front is destined to reach the East Coast by the early part of next week, and it will usher in a cooler air mass for the early and middle stages of next week following that late weekend warm-up. Well, I thought we'd start off this morning by looking at the tropics. A lot of activity in the tropical region. This is kind of a different satellite viewpoint than we're accustomed to here at VencoreWeather.com. It's a from the Goes East NOAA satellite, and the three areas of interest. First of all, this cloud area right here in the southwestern U.S. are the remains of Tropical Storm Odell. It is going to cause some flooding rainfall in Arizona and New Mexico over the next 48 hours or so, especially the central and southern portions of those two states, Arizona and New Mexico. 5 or 6 inches of rain can easily fall over the next couple of days from the remains of Odell. Meanwhile, to the southwest of Mexico, here's another tropical storm called Polo. This too will have to be monitored, as it could eventually cause some more moisture to move into the southwestern U.S. It is likely to take a track to the north and west, likely reaching hurricane status over the next couple of days, approaching the western side of Baja California, and again, eventually that could throw some moisture into the southwest U.S. So an active pattern out in the eastern Pacific having a big impact on the southwestern U.S. Meanwhile, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean right here, a very healthy looking Hurricane Edouard. It has weakened overnight to a Category 1 storm. It actually reached major hurricane status yesterday, 3. That's the first major hurricane, Category 3 or above, that we've had in the Atlantic Basin since Sandy a couple of years ago. This, however, poses no threat to land. It'll continue to move out into the open Atlantic over the next 24 to 48 hours and weaken as it moves over colder and colder waters. There's another area of interest to monitor here. This is a large cloud bank with some showers and thunderstorms underneath the clouds here off the southeast U.S. coast. Not labeled as a tropical system right now, but it'll have to be monitored. Sea surface temperatures are quite warm in that part of the western Atlantic. Well, let's get back to a more conventional map here that we use at VencoreWeather.com. This is the latest U.S. surface map. There is high pressure dominating the scene here in the Mid-Atlantic region, and it will continue to do so for the next couple of days. A cool front up here will actually pass through by Thursday evening, and this high pressure system here up in Canada will actually take over by the time Friday rolls around. By Friday, there'll be one large high pressure system up in New England. This cool front actually ushers in a little bit cooler air for Friday, probably of the next 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Friday. Friday will turn out to be the coolest day. High temperatures struggling to pass the 70-degree mark up and down the I-95 corridor, whereas today and tomorrow will likely reach the mid-70s in many I-95 corridor locations. Meanwhile, out in the southwest U.S., right here is the tropical storm Odell. It actually will continue to weaken, but move right over Arizona over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. And this region right here can very well experience flooding rainfall over the next 48 hours, 5, 6, maybe even 7 inches of rain over the next couple of days in central and southern parts of Arizona and New Mexico. Well, that first satellite image we looked at was an infrared satellite image of all the Americas, North America and South America. This is the latest visible satellite image from the Penn State EWAL site of the Mid-Atlantic region, and basically mostly sunny skies here up and down the I-95 corridor from D.C. to Baltimore to Philadelphia and then New York City. There's some fog just to the west of the district right here. This is actually some patchy fog here, even some in the Philadelphia suburbs. All of that will dissipate over the next couple of hours. Great celebratory weather here in D.C. and Baltimore for those baseball fans who want to celebrate the clinching games last night for the divisions in the National and American Eastern divisions last night. Well, let's take a look at a few computer forecast maps for the next few mornings. We'll look at Thursday morning, and Friday morning, and Saturday morning, all using last night's 0Z GFS model run. GFS, the Global Forecast System, NOAA model. And this is, again, for Thursday morning. High pressure just north of the Great Lakes region, dominating the scene in the northeastern part of the country. This drop is dropping today across south central Canada towards the Great Lakes, and will continue to move towards New England over the next day or two. Just rain-free conditions here in the Mid-Atlantic region. A couple of cool nights coming, but again, the coolest day appears to be Friday, with high temperatures struggling on Friday to reach the 70-degree mark up and down the I-95 corridor. Let's now jump ahead to the Friday morning forecast map. And here it is by Friday morning. That Canadian high pressure system moves over northern New England. Kind of a low-level flow of northeast winds on Friday, helping to keep temperatures down. Again, of the 3 days ending this work week, today, Thursday, and Friday. Friday will turn out to be the coolest day in terms of high temperatures, certainly struggling to reach 70 degrees in parts of the I-95 corridor. And any one of these next few nights could see temperatures drop to the upper 40s in some of the suburban locations along the I-95 corridor. This high pressure system, however, then pushes off the northeast coastline by the weekend. In fact, let's jump ahead to the Saturday morning forecast map. And here it is by Saturday morning. That high pressure pushes way off the New England coastline, and that's an important change. It allows for a southwesterly flow of air on the backside of that high to first pump in milder air into the Ohio Valley, and then increasingly warm air into the Mid-Atlantic region, so that by Sunday afternoon, 80-plus degrees is quite likely from D.C. to Philadelphia. Even New York City could touch the 80-degree mark on Sunday afternoon. All of that, however, is ahead of the next cool front. That cool front ushers in cooler air for the early part of next week. So while we do get increasingly warm over the weekend, it'll be a short-lived warm-up, probably peaking on Sunday afternoon. Well, that's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.